Tact. Cut ties. These are buzzwords that are heard all over the internet today. But what happens when it happens to you? Hi, my name is Kayla Scott, and I will be presenting a speech called When Disease Gives Back. First, to discuss a little bit about my life before disease. My family and I had gone through an extremely straining incident, to be not too specific, that led me to potentially cut ties with my mother and father. Coming to that conclusion after the incident was horrifying. I was so afraid as their child. I love my mother and father, but I concluded that estrangement may be easier than continuing contact with my parents. I would go weeks and weeks without conversating with them, and it brought me significant pain. I was questioning the future of my relationship with my family, if I had the ability to have a relationship at all. And that was a very frightening time in my life. Now that I have informed you about my life before diagnosis, I would like to proceed by telling you my life after and during the diagnosis. What was the diagnosis, you ask? Well, she was misdiagnosed a couple of times, but it turned out that she had stage 3 lymphoma. My mother was given a pretty grim response when she asked what lay ahead for us. The doctor looked at us right in the eyes and said, "You are going to need every single one of your family members to get you through this." That she had a battle ahead of her, and we were afraid. Our months and months of not conversing turned into spending any moment we could being close to one another, telling each other how much we loved each other, how important we were to each other. She became very weak, sleeping for most days, and I was begging God or anything that would listen to give me time to right my wrongs. I was begging for anything to give her and I the ability to heal. Her face changed so much during chemotherapy and radiation. I was afraid that I would never be able to love her as she once was. I felt so angry that I had wasted precious time with her being angry. Next, what life was like after the diagnosis. All at once, it seemed it was over. No more appointments. Her hair, eyebrows, eyelashes started growing back. She started looking like herself, but when I looked at her, it felt like I saw a ghost. It feels as though in my own head I had come to the conclusion that it was over and I had given up hope. All of that hope came flooding back to me one day when we heard the sweet, sweet words, remission. I had been pleading for another chance with my mother, and I got it. And I am so grateful. I am constantly needing to remind myself how rare this is. There are so many people who are in the space that I was in and didn't get a second chance. I use this time with my family to rekindle anything that we can, and I have spent this time rekindling a relationship with my father, with my mother, and I'm really starting to understand how peaceful life is when you have your parents on your side. In conclusion, I'm extremely grateful for every day, the gift of time with my mother and father, and the gift that disease gave me. Disease gave me a different perspective. Disease gave me the ability to see time being taken away with your loved one and the ability to give it back and to try again. I am so grateful for what the gift of disease brought me, and I will never let anything take that away from me again.